give us a rough idea of a typical project without getting into anything especially proprietary, like on these kinds of migrations, like how many people might be involved on a full-time basis, for how many weeks, for how many months, like what are the range that these projects typically cost, or is it really just all over the place, or do you see a common band for like a mid-market or enterprise cloud migration engagement?
So in a cloud migration engagement, if we go with a mid size, which I would say around, we define these t-shirts based on number of applications and number of data centers, number of VMs that needs to be migrated into the new environment. So if we go roughly by around 1,000 VMs that needs to be migrated, which is in a smaller side, not even a mid size, between small and mid size. So if we go with that kind of size of the transfer, migration, we see that it is almost 4 to 5 months of projects that needs to be done, depending again on the complexity of the environment. So there's no straight answer, Joshua, to this, but if the complexities again is low complex um, uh, um, IT environment with one data center, then it is between 4 to 5 months of migration projects that needs to be done because IBM is fully automated organization, so we can do this with a with 7 to 8 resources doing the migration for the organization. Most of it is automated for us, and manual processes is very, very limited that we have managed to do it. And the cost is, again, I will not be able to give you a cost estimation, but it all depends on the environment, the volume, the complexity, the technology. So it's between for 4 to 5 months with 8 to 10 resources and tools.
Very, very interesting. And that's considered small to mid-size, like the lower end of like the
Yes.
lower end entry point of like mid-market with
Yes.
with 1,000 virtual machines.
Yes,
Super.
absolutely. And also I would also want to add here that it all depends on the client timeline as well. So if the client has if the client has a timeline, say within 6 months they have to exit the data center and move to the cloud, whether it is 1,000 VMs or 2,000 VMs, but the timeline is the constraint, then we have more people to help them do that. But if the timeline is, say, 2 years, the client has to exit the data center within 2 years, then we distribute the migration in 2 years, even though the volume is less. So it depends again on the client's requirement and their timeline constraint.